Welcome to the In My Opinion Show with Ronald Barry Robinson and friends, seen on the internet 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're also seen on Flint Channel 17, Detroit, Michigan, Comcast Channel 68, and Downriver Channel 20. I want to welcome our millions of viewers worldwide, and especially our very resourceful and talented co-host, Miss Jackie Williams.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome, Jackie.
Mr. Henry Hatter.
It's good to be here.
Thank you. U.S. Supreme Court refuses to hear Michigan Attorney General Schuett's straight party ticket. Now, I think, excuse me, that was a waste of taxpayers' money even to try to get this on the ballot, all right? People should be able to vote straight party, all right, or other, okay, and vote from whomever they so choose, regardless of party affiliations. Mr. Hatter, what is your thoughts?
Well, I know it wouldn't matter which one or the other that we had. Democracy would still go on. Okay? Straight party or just a combination of both. And I think that what Bill Schuette was trying to do was assure that the end of the ballot was served. Because when you do straight party voting, you don't vote for the Supreme Court because they're not partisan. You don't vote for the State Department of Education. You don't vote for school districts. There's a whole litany of positions that you don't vote for. That we need the input of the American voter to generate a better public policy.
Well, now, this is my thought on this, okay? I think Schuette did this on purpose because Michigan has always went Democratic, all right? And he wanted to limit, okay, the electorate in terms of who they voted for, okay? And I think that the Supreme Court was justified in refusing to hear it.
I don't think he wanted to limit the.
I think
he
was.
Or whatever. I think that it would be favorable to Republicans if we had straight party tickets.
Of course.
But I'm not sure that that's the reason why he had this in mind. I have not asked Bill to do it.
You said it would be favorable to Republicans?
Mm-hmm.
Favorable to Democrats.
Democrats.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Favorable to Democrats.
No, I think it's another issue too, because I've been to the polls in minority black neighborhoods and also, diverse neighborhoods. And I find that according to statistics, the reading level of a lot of our adults are not very good.
Yeah, you're right.
And so,
it's a great admission.
If you get ready to do that, they would have to read all the way through to know, and I think that would be a problem because of the understanding level,
Yeah. That's a good point.
Well, not only black folks, but all races.
No, I said diverse and also minority. I mean, it's just our reading ability is not.
But I'm glad you brought it out for black people because they themselves have said this in the South, that they've had difficulty with transportation and reading and all of that stuff and understanding. Even people who are as erudite as you have problems with how some of the issues are written.
The language, yes.
Language.
Mm-hmm.
Because
in reverse direction.
That's right.
You think you're voting yes, and instead you're voting no.
Because even the newspaper is written on a 6th grade level because it has to be written on a level where everybody can comprehend. So you can't write it on a higher level because you lose people. And just like, I think that's how they got the proposal, affirmative action. I think that's how affirmative action was passed because they had it written where you thought you were voting to keep it and you weren't.
Sure.
So I think that's trickery of the lawmakers actually.
Well, I think Schuette would have been better served if he brought his ass to Flint and deal with these murderers, okay, about this Flint water situation, and stop kicking the damn can down the road. That's my opinion. Okay?
You gotta welcome him here.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, right. Let's move on. North Korea has ignored all of the U.S. and UN sanctions. Should America bomb their nuclear sites? Jackie, my opinion would be, yeah, certainly would cause some issues, but I'm so sick and tired of that guy over there
Bully.
talking shit.
Yeah, he's a bully.
All right, and selling all of these wolf tickets. Okay, I don't think he's got North Korea. I mean, he's got China in his pocket. Okay, or I guess they're friendly, but I don't think that, and I would hope not, that China would come to his aid if those nuclear sites got took out.
I don't think it would be to the benefit of China because China does a lot of things with the United States, and that would really hurt them. And I just think that he is one who doesn't respect his people as well as anybody else or any sanctions that we had. And I believe when President Obama has tried to have conversation with him, he wasn't receptive to that either. So he's one of those hard-nosed, he wants to do what he wants to do. And a lot of times they self-destruct. I mean, because you want to do what you want to do, you don't want to follow any rules. Everything has to have a guideline, or everybody would be doing everything.
Exactly.
Let's go back a decade before then. George Bush. He said, Iran and North Korea are the enemies of world nations. Remember that? We said, oh no, that's a Republican talking. He said we ought to take him out. No, oh no, you start another war. Now things have come around again for us to face that. And now you're on the different side. But it was a lot easier to do it back in those days.
Absolutely, before they got their
And this guy
programs
is
planned.
really arrogant. He is. So
Well, even the way that they train in military, what is it? What is
the
it?
goose
Youngest?
step. The goose step.
Yes,
The
they have
Pearson's
a
goose step
they have a
that
very,
they
and you have to know everything about their heritage. You have to know. They said it is something to be desired of all the stuff they have to do because they have to be totally dedicated.
And I want to put in a plug for Condoleezza Rice, who you might have known. You might have known her name and know who she was.
Yes, I know who she is.
But she did say that was evil empire, and tried to shore up enough confidence in the president to get with other nations and the UN.
Would that President be Bush?
Yes.
A Republican president that didn't do it.
Obama has done the same thing. So what you're
So
doing
who
is
advised him of that?
what we're doing is looking at a progression. This makes more sense. Now you see it in a progression.
Like the other day when they did that, what did they say that what they used? It still isn't on the level of our stuff. They said.
No, the military is not.
Oh yeah, they still. not on
But
the
what
level
I'm
of
trying
our
to point out here is that you would think that things would level out or slow down or rise rapidly.
But how old is he?
He's about 32, 33.
Think about having that much power and being real immature.
Well, Alexander the Great was only about 29.
But guess who
Conquered the
he
whole
was?
world.
Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
He had some other things. This man does not.
But I think that we were so political back in those days that we jumped to conclusions without thinking about these things, and now they come back to bite us.
Mm-hmm.
This guy he said he's got missiles facing the United States now, and he can reach us.
And we can reach him too. Do he realize that?
Well, do you just want to be retaliatory, or do you want world peace? Why don't we just accept a few of those down here and call it quits?
No, why don't we just go over there and drop some bombs and take him out? You know
Drive
what I
right on
mean?
his house. Be like, what do you see now?
You know what I mean? And same thing with Iran, and same thing with Syria. Now they just brokered a ceasefire, which it's already been broke. All right.
Now you guys sound like Americans.
You know, and
You
that
sound like real Americans.
and this tyrant, he's killed up tens of thousands, you know, of his own people. All right, and why he hasn't been taken out, you know, like
Osama.
like that
Bin Laden.
Bin Laden, okay, with the might of the United States, all right, and the information that's available, all right, through our networks of nations, all right. I can understand that we don't want to get involved in another war, but I can't see, in my limited knowledge of foreign affairs, that there would be that much of a backlash, all right, if that Syrian president was taken out of the box.
Well, he has to draw the first blood. Otherwise, we can't. He might have to hit our shores, like the Japanese did in 1941. Then Americans will get mad and be justified.
We're mad right now.
We're mad. We're mad as
we need justification. We need justification.
I think we have justification.
But if you go in and do something right now,
we might not have the people around. That's right. But even before we didn't do anything, and we went and stood for everybody else, and they never stood with us.
Because we're a political system. Everybody has free speech. They will never let us galvanize. They have to hit us somewhere where we get hurt.
Well,
the irony.
We're over there, okay. Maybe not officially, maybe not with, as they call, boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
But we're still there. We're aiding the, the folks that are against this guy and have been for several years now. Look at the billions that we probably spent over there. All right, what are we getting? All right. They spent all the millions and billions of dollars, just to get a ceasefire, and I don't think it lasted 24 hours. All right? Take this joker out the box. Get it over with, get it done with. You know what I mean?
We need to, as the president needs to appoint you.
I'm going to,
Chief of staff.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have it done. Okay?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
As we speak, it'd be just like, he was, when he took out Bin Laden, he was someplace, right?
Right.
At some kind of function, okay? And the people went over there and boom.
What do they call them? What was it called?
SEALs.
I like the Navy SEALs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
SEALs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about something that's very controversial out here. This is about football quarterback Colin Kaepernick refusal to stand for Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem. This position that he's taken is gathering lots of steam, okay? And I, for one, agree with this man, okay? Because as African American as he is, okay, even with that name, I understand in many ways what he's talking about. And I refuse to stand or pledge allegiance anymore until things become equal here in America, all right? We've been seeking equality for the last 150, 60 years, okay? We were slaves for 400 plus. Now it's time for America. I keep hearing, let's have a discussion, let's have a dialogue, all right? But then that occurs, but then it stops, all right? And then when new people come in, we got to start all over again with that same old. Meetings, all right? People are adopting what is it? I forget what it's called, but anyway, they're adopting ways to on the local level and the federal level to deal with this. But a lot of this stuff is non-binding. Okay. So if it's non-binding, what the heck does Joe or Mary care? All right. You can't hold our feet to the sidewalk on it because it's got no juice. What do you think, Henry?
Well, I think it's horrible for an athlete that's getting millions of dollars a year, and they don't come even close to that. You do, and Jackie does.
Oh, please.
But I don't, and the rest of us Americans don't. He's getting millions of dollars to play football, and there are some things that he can follow protocol on. It's just like our most celebrated gymnast. Absolutely fantastic. The name now.
Knowles. Knowles.
No, I'm talking about black athletes.
She's black.
Yeah, but what's her name?
One in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Knowles. It's her last name.
How do you spell it?
Knowles.
Okay. Then we have the swimmer. Then we have the runners.
You talking about the first black swimmer?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's absolutely incredible.
Right.
But there was one of the athletes that did not rise for the flag and embarrassed not only the black people of the world, but she embarrassed the country.
Was it Dominique?
What's the last name?
Dominique.
It was her. She was
And I applaud her.
Well,
I applaud her. And anybody else that stands
this
up.
is the kind of thing, now Jackie, I can't talk to this guy. Yeah. But this is the kind of thing that's going on in our schools right now. Our kids don't rise for the pledge. And yet they go out and create all kind of havoc for themselves. Have entanglements with the police. Get themselves killed. Create a dominance for other kids to follow suit. And there's got to be something wrong with that. It's that flag that protects us from harm from those who would hurt us. It's a flag. There are many white people in this country who believe that black Americans should have the very same rights and privileges as anybody else do.
Mm-hmm.
And they work at it every day. There are some of them that don't. But they are in minorities, and their group is high enough to raise all kind of havoc, but still, the country does one thing. It cannot minimize, well, it can, but it cannot prevent these kind of actions. But it can minimize them and reduce consequences that are much more harmful.
Are you aware
see-
that Donald Trump didn't place his hand on his heart for the Pledge of Allegiance?
No,
Are you aware?
No.
I can show you footage.
Okay.
So this is an example.
Well, we're not talking about Donald Trump.
No. I'm just letting you know.
If he did that, he was wrong.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. But you can go all the way back. I want to go.
Now you're taking trivia.
No.
You're taking
I
one
want to go
incident
back.
Versus
No, because I want to explain to you, we have to use the avenues in which we have power.
That's right.
We don't have a lot of power in a lot of different places, but we do
you
have power.
financial power.
If you have
No,
if
but
you
you're
have
not listening to my dollar. You're watching me play football. But while you're watching me play football, if I do something that throw you off, you're paying attention. So he has their attention. My point is, the reason why he's doing this is because in Chicago alone, there has been so many cop killings that they had them to do an investigation. And what they did is they used their own cops to do the investigation. So they covered everything up. So then they had an independent come.
But there are the other people on the other side of the thing that out there to protect you every day.
No, they're not. They did an independent
Remember
to come
you
in.
said that.
I'm going to say it again. They did an independent, and what they did was they found that there was so much corruption in the Chicago police, and so many people had died at their hands. So now they have a whole new system. But this does not help a mother that has lost her child. This does not help a father who has buried his son. This does not help
come on,
kids. No, I'm saying, so he's standing because so many many people have died at the hands of these people who are just hurting people for no reason?
The
number is great, Henry.
You know, I listened to that and I regret that. But still, there's a lesson that we need to teach our kids.
No, Henry.
Okay.
No, Henry.
If you have a platform like we do here on the In My Opinion show, and thousands, I'm sure millions of other places in the United States or around the world, if you have a platform, use it. Okay? Use it. Like I'm using the In My Opinion show today, all right? And I'm saying I have, don't get me wrong, folks out there, I respect the flag, all right? But pledging the allegiance, okay, and it does not, it's not in the Constitution, all right? There's nothing about these two issues, all right, standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and reciting. It's nothing in the Constitution that says you have to do this, all right? So you're not violating anyone's laws other than the people that don't agree with you, all right? Because we as people, even when I was going to school younger, okay, yeah, we did all of that, all right, because we didn't know any better. We were taught from an early age on. I don't know if you know, when you were in school or when you were in school, you know what I mean? When the teacher said, put your hand over your heart and pledge allegiance.
First thing in the morning.
You know what I mean?
How are you?
Stop doing it, people out there, until you get equality here.
Now
all
here's
right?
the guy that would be supervisor of a township, and you're under state law, and there are protocols. Every time you open a board meeting, you stand and pledge the flag.
But I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, I would not. Okay. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't be there very long.
Yes, I would.
Because
yes, I
every
would. Yes,
meeting
I would.
I start for the Clio Board of Education.
That's because you had to do it.
Well, I wanted to do it.
You know what I mean? Because you were raised that way.
That's right.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with it. All my
Now that we know better,
good.
okay, this is the 21st
But
century.
you've had good experiences too, and so have you. Our experiences are not as diverse as some of those people who are downtrodden and who have really been hurt by police brutality and stuff like that. So therefore...
But that's not true, because I have a black son. And let me just tell you, I thought, years ago, this can't be all what it says. My son has been stopped at least 25 times in the last year and a half. Let me tell you what they did. He received a ticket. Mm-hmm. This is something up close and personal. He received a ticket, and we went to court for the ticket. And they were not ready to process the ticket. Never heard of that because I've never had a ticket. So we go to court, and they tell us they're going to get in touch with you and let you know when the court date is. They're not ready. So she stamped his ticket and said he's good. When Obama came to town, they did a sweep. They pulled him over and towed his car because they sent the court date to the wrong address. This error cost $750. Do you know what they told us? It was a mistake.
Well,
we don't know what to tell you, but it was a mistake.
But you can go and sue that and get redress. You can sue the police department for doing it.
Yeah, so their whole thing was they wrote the address down wrong. Regardless of who wrote it down wrong, what happened, this car was towed. Mm-hmm. He had expenses. He missed work. All of these different things. Mm-hmm. And all you do is look at us and say...
I would fight that too. That's just...
Well, I'm just giving you one example of millions.
Oh, well, I don't know what this
Yes, it is.
I won't go there. Sometimes we're in the wrong too.
I'm not saying we weren't in the wrong, but we've even had police officers come to the church and explain to our young people how, when you are stopped, what are you supposed to do? Yes. And the proper protocol of having, don't reach for anything, don't do anything without their permission. We have had them be taught.
We've told the kids from this podium right here how to behave when they're stopped by the police.
Right.
Department. From right here, Ron, yourself, and myself, and others who sat here at the same time. We know what goes on. It's our obligation to tell our kids how to protect them. The police are not gods. They're
they think
human
they
beings.
are.
they have fears and anxieties, just like everybody
Then
else.
maybe you should not be a police
I
officer,
agree.
because one of the things they did say is that when they pull over a black person, they do fear for their lives, so they do act aggressively. So how is that okay?
I didn't say it was okay.
But I'm saying it's costing lives.
Yeah. You've already beat up on me on this because I agree with you. I can't say anything else. But all I wanted to know is that we need to continue to tell our kids to aspire to become policemen. And 34 years from now, 1/3 of this country will belong to them. And they need to be prepared and ready.
And also, folks, if you feel as if your rights aren't being given to you, protest. Non-violently.
Yeah.
All right. Protest. All right. If you have a platform, if you're a basketball player, football player, a talk show host, or radio jockey, factory worker. All right. If you feel that your rights are being violated, sue whatever party that you feel has violated your rights.
Democrat or Republican.
Okay,
That's
Democrat or Republican.
Either.
You know what I mean? Green Party, Libertarian, whatever you want to call them. Okay, sue, because when you take that money from somebody, it makes a big difference. All right, and get you a good lawyer that's not scared to go up against the system.
Because there's a lot of lawyers that will not do it.
That's right.
A lot of them. Just because, one more thing, just because a person is a lawyer does not mean his or her specialty is what you need. Find one that has that specialty that you require. All right? Because a lot of lawyers are just a lawyer, they passed the bar. Whoop, big deal, which is great because they passed the bar, and I'm sure it's not that easy to pass. But they have so many different specialties, all right?
And they tell you that they can go down the hill and put a fire out, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. With that, we must bring the In My Opinion show to a close. It's been wonderful. Hopefully you amazing viewers out there have learned something today. This is Ronald Barrington Robinson and friends saying for the In My Opinion show, stay focused.